TTT THROWDOWN!
What are the tips for this one? And when do I say them?
Let me hit my we've got first. We've got GHDs.
Wait, I'm supposed to go, and then it's her.
Just let me fucking hit my we've got.
Point that camera up. Get that camera up. On this week's Throwdown, we have Happy Hannes demo the workout.
Time for the we've got.
We've got GHDs, pistols, ring muscle up, bar muscle ups, and rope climbs.
We release these throwdowns every Thursday here on YouTube.
All right, for the winner of the Alexis Raptis 2-pood belt
On TTT 171.
Gonna pick a random comment here. Andrew Shemp.
Are we sure that's how you pronounce his name?
Andrew Shemp. Two P's.
Can you say it one more time?
Andrew SHEMPP.
Can you say it in a sentence?
Shemp.
Andrew Shemp. Andrew Shemp won Alexis Raptis belt. You want to know his comment? His comment was easily the smartest team of coaches in the CrossFit world.
Oh, you deserve a belt.
Yes.
You deserve a belt, Andrew Shemp.
This was totally random.
If you want a chance to win an Alexis Raptis 2-pood belt, leave a comment down below. Talk about how wonderful Max, Mia, and myself are, and you'll definitely get picked because Chris is the one picking the winners.
This week's throwdown is for time. 30 GHD sit-ups, 30 pistols. You have to do all 15 on one leg and then all 15 on the other. 10 ring muscle ups, 30 GHDs, 30 pistols, again 15 and 15. 10 bar muscle ups, 30 pistols. Nope, 30 GHDs, 30 pistols, alternating legs, and then finishing with 10 rope climbs. I almost got it right.
Give this woman a whiteboard. Give her a whiteboard so she can read off of it.
I got ahead of myself. I was like, you're crushing it. And then I messed
That's a
up.
lot. I was like, if she does this in one take, I'm shocked. For movement standards, a warm-up, and scaled versions of this workout, look in the description down below.
This week's athlete demo is Hannes. Hannes is a semifinal level striving athlete trying to make it into the European semifinal. He's also a great mover. What's gonna be a spicy one? All right, let's talk targets for this workout. If you're striving to be a semifinal level athlete, somewhere around the 12-minute target or maybe a little bit above that would be a starting target for you to go after. For an RX level athlete that's confident that they're gonna make it into quarterfinals, but semifinals is a little bit too far of a goal for you, a goal somewhere between the 15 to 17 minutes and really trying to fight to beat that time cap is where I think most people are gonna fall. If you're an intermediate level athlete who's striving to make it into the top 10%, this workout is a little bit more oriented for quarterfinals. So check out in the description that you have a different workout that is oriented more towards you doing well in the open. 3,
Look at Mike.
2,
Wow.
1, go. Oh, apparently sun's out, guns out for Mike McGoldrick here.
Mike still got the
Can't
goods.
handle it.
Let's pay attention to the workout, guys.
All right, so you'll notice Hannes is doing 30 GHD sit-ups. This workout is a take on quarterfinal workout. Do you remember which number last year?
Wasn't it number one? Was it not number one?
I don't think it was
22.2.
Yeah,
Number.
20.
Yeah. Who knows the number? But
One of the quarterfinals workout.
this was a workout last year that there was. I'm sorry, am I not speaking into the mic? Chris just changed my mic, guys. There was such a big separator with how good you, and it was different for each person, right? Like maybe it was the muscle ups, maybe it was pistols, maybe it was GHDs. And so we wanted to expose people to that again.
Yeah, and Hannes here has his butt well off the back of the pad. They did bring out a new standard. I forget if it was Masters quarterfinals when it
was
came out. It was
Masters, yeah.
Masters, right, where the butt couldn't be on top of the pad. So it's something to
I
consider.
thought it had to be on top.
No, it had
Like
to
it
be.
had to like cut down the middle of your.
It had to be on top
Hip.
or behind. I think it couldn't be on
Yeah,
top or forward.
You couldn't
Right.
be forward of
Okay,
it.
so you could be on top.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We'll get back to that when he gets back to GHDs.
So he has to do 15 pistols on one leg and then 15 on the other, but it's not like the game standard where the other foot can't touch the ground.
Yeah, I think if it comes out in the open, this is probably a more realistic standard that people would be able to do. It's very hard to do a lot of consecutive pistols on one side, but this can be practice for you. And if you are an elite athlete, you could practice just doing them unbroken if you're going to, if you want to push yourself.
For sure. In our online program, that's something that we mention is, hey, if you need to practice this, if you know you're a semifinal or games athlete, I would keep your foot off the ground just to practice that. But it's just good general practice for everyone else to get kind of dense reps on one leg without the alternating scheme.
Man,
I would also work on finding speed while making sure you are 100% no question hitting the standard of hitting full extension before your foot touches the ground, because so many people got major penalties last year for that.
Yes. Well, that was because they were going so fast
Yeah.
and not standing all the way up. But that is a good point. You have to stand all the way up before your foot hits the ground.
It's interesting watching that 30 reps. The cycle rate when you can't go back and forth is way slower when you have to display like control of each rep.
I do think it's worth practicing, seeing if you can speed it up, because if they come out where it is like, oh, I got to do 20 on my right and 20 on my left, speed will still matter for the top level athletes. Everyone else is more so just getting through them.
Yeah, so Hannes is a pretty elite athlete. He's going to go through these muscle-ups, probably not as a big deal. For a lot of people doing this workout, even for myself, this would definitely be a time cap workout that I'd be thinking of. Just the amount of GHDs, it's going to be 90 GHDs to finish. There's going to be all of those pistols and balancing on one leg. And then the gymnastics is not insignificant. But I think as you get more elite, the muscle-ups are probably not that big of a separator in this workout.
Yeah, so you did 10 unbroken, quick transition back to the GHDs.
Yeah, I think they'll still probably be – the separator is going to be the rope climbs at the end for the elite athletes, how fast you can go. Someone that's like Travis who can just fly up and down the rope, maybe they can take advantage of that and can actually break up some of the muscle-ups. But you got to keep in mind that with a workout like this, the bar muscle-ups are second, and most people are more confident doing bigger sets of bar muscle-ups. So you can take some risks on the rings like Hannes just did. He's obviously – you could see he's very good at ring muscle-ups. But – maybe if it was the quarterfinal workout, you break ring muscle-ups so you don't blow up later on. Here, you could take that risk and then push yourself on the bar muscle-ups.
If somebody was doing this, who doesn't have a ton of GHD experience, but they want to prepare for quarterfinals and hit this workout, and maybe they're not confident they can handle the volume, how would you recommend kind of breaking this up in kind of manageable chunks? Would you think do a set of 10 and rest 30 seconds and think of it like you're doing a higher level gymnastics skill?
I think a 30-second rest is probably a little bit too long. For GHDs, if I'm going to break them up, I like descending sets because that mentally keeps my rest break shorter as I'm going. So something like a
right here, Gabby had walked over and was showing me something on her phone. So I totally missed this transition. Mike was like, Chris. That's why Hannes is smiling. You got the camera
right
at my
face.
Man, he's very smooth and under control, and he's just smiling while that's going on.
He's a very good mover.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about descending rep schemes. I really like that too. I think just mentally it allows you to stay more engaged and shorten your rest time, because if you're doing the same amount of reps as the last set, it's hard to convince yourself to get back on the GHD, or the same thing with any movement.
Yeah, we had I'm curious, I know we have it in the description below, but the standard, does he have to touch his foot on each one of those?
You do
or
not.
You just have to show extension?
You have to show extension. I do think that this would be the standard in the open if they did pistols and they made it where you had to do so many on one leg before moving to the next. But it's good practice, as Max said, to do some where you stand all the way up and your foot doesn't touch the ground. It's much harder.
Yeah, if you're looking for cycle speed, there's about a second in pause in between each rep that he's doing here. So if you could get to the point that you can either just tap and go or maybe not even tap, it might be something to take into consideration if you're an advanced athlete and movement speed is the differentiator. If not, those little details are probably irrelevant.
Yeah, I think that's a great tip for elite, but the pace he was moving at is probably a very
elite.
Great pace
Yeah.
for RX athletes.
For sure. That was a really fast transition to the bar muscle-ups. He took a couple breaths before. I'm guessing he's going to go unbroken, so he knew that. He's trying to make sure that he was ready to do that. For most of us, though, it probably makes sense to just have a game plan right away. Even if you can do 10 unbroken, break them so that you're not blown up before the rope climbs.
I would also have an plan if you're not used to doing a lot of GHDs into muscle-ups, because by now you're 60 deep in fairly big sets, and this is talking not to elite athletes, but to RX or intermediate athletes, and it does affect you. So whatever set you,
it's really hard for me.
Whatever set you think you're going to hold, have an idea of what you're going to do if that's not sustainable.
Yeah, so these movements are typically what we would think, some quarterfinals or maybe the last workout of the open, but this is on the equipment list. So if it comes out for athletes in the open and you haven't put a lot of volume into it, just understanding how to get through it.
I'm pretty sure they said GHDs
only
and rope
quarters.
climbs are only for, I know it was the rope, but I want to say also GHD only for quarters. But check your your Hopper email or whatever it was.
It was like an Instagram post.
There was an
I think.
asterisk at the bottom with a couple notes. I could be wrong.
Anyways, core fatigue into high-level gymnastics skills is super hard. It challenged people a lot in the there was also the GHD pistol rope climb workout from the year before in 21, and that people couldn't even lift their legs up to get their leg clamps on the rope climbs, and it made a huge difference. So developing this skill. Oh, that was the first break.
That was the
Hannes
first, yeah.
took.
Does that count as a break?
Yeah, kind of.
It was like
2
a
seconds.
slower eccentric.
That was an elite level break. I'm going to pause here for a second. Yeah, he looks really good on the GHDs. He's 7 minutes in the workout. He's already done 90
that's
GHDs.
solid.
Yeah.
Now he can alternate.
So you'll see. Let's see if they're any faster.
You can alternate, or you're...
This one you must alternate.
You must,
yeah.
okay. Look at this with the standard wizards. I like that. We are the standard wizards.
So his pace actually is about the same with these pistols. I think at this point, I remember the quarterfinal workout last year, except for those that were just like high level, like Noah flying through pistols. Most people, their last set was pretty slow.
I mean, if they make the standard that you have to be very clear with your knees and hips open, which Hannes is doing a great job of trying to make sure that the rep standards are really clean, I think it's going to slow down everybody's pistols.
Yeah.
Because most people that do them fast, they basically like jump into extension and then pull themselves into the other leg. And if you freeze frame them, there's always like a little bit of hip extension that's lacking if you don't really put your other foot down and stand there.
And if the way that they do major penalties doesn't change this year, on a movement like this, it's not worth it.
It's not,
because you get docked so much.
Yes, I agree. So I don't know where he is in his reps, but we do know where he's going. He's going to the rope next.
It's very philosophical here.
And again, I think that this is somewhere like it's not just for elite athletes. If you can get to this point in the workout, let's say that you are trying to fight for top 10% in the workout.
Whoa.
Yeah, little stumble.
Just let's touch it. Oh no!
All right. Well,
that's going to make him a little harder.
I'm going to give him a shout out here, though. These middle ropes that we have, touching the beam is not 15 feet. It's like the middle of the beam, and he was like being honest and making sure he could touch the middle of the beam up there, and that's really hard to do because of how low that knot is.
It is hard.
I also saw them working on rope climbs the day before this, and I think Mike was teaching him a different foot clamp technique. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It is hard when you're changing it. So, if he's going to that back clamp like Travis does, which is what he's doing right here.
Yeah.
Fuck all those excuses. That was terrible, Hannes.
Do better. Better than I would do, Hannes.
No.
What I was going to say, though, is rope climbs, just like the muscle-up variations, are one rep can be huge on the leaderboard in a workout like this. Now, he's flying through it. He's easily going to hit make well below the cap. But for those that maybe know they're going to be at 17 minutes, knowing you can get 1 or 2 extra rope climbs could be a huge jump up the leaderboard. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you're pacing this well and working on your clamp, making sure that you dial that in before you start the workout.
Also, just take into consideration, as he's going through that, I think his last rest was about 10 seconds. Let's watch this one. He finished at about 58. So if he goes up in about 3 seconds, that would be 10 seconds. So 12-second rest break. Doing these fatigued for somebody at my level, it's like 30 to 45 seconds rest in between. And I think a lot of intermediate athletes, especially in this format, if you did all that work, you're going to kind of not really be on this same type of clock. So that time cap can start to accelerate on people really quickly when you have, it's only 10 reps left to do, but the rep itself takes 5+ seconds, and then you're going to take these long breaks between. So just be prepared for that. I don't know if there's anything that you can do to avoid that, but at least being mentally aware of the fact that the time cap could creep up on people.
And I don't think a set of rope climbs this dense has been tested in quarterfinals yet, right?
No, I think it was 5, 4, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think so. 6 was the densest that they've done.
Yeah.
Did you say time crap?
Me? Maybe.
Yeah. It's all the same. Crap.
I get time crapped.
That's how I feel when I'm doing the workout.
Yeah.
What would you guys suggest as far as rope climb technique? Are there things for the intermediate athlete that they should be thinking about practicing now if they know they're going to make quarterfinals, but they're kind of at that back end of the 10%?
So I have a confession.
So many things.
Yeah, I have a confession because I never learned how to rope climb properly.
Who taught you?
Yeah, Mia worked with me on it. And the thing that I think for me specifically that's a big game changer is not jumping. Now, that might not be for everyone, but if you're starting to get to failure and you jump up,
Did he just fail?
Oh.
Yes, he did fail one.
Wow.
Oh.
I 100% agree with that. If you're sprinting an elite level athlete, then yes, jumping makes sense. But if you watch most athletes jump, they don't actually clamp their hands higher than if they just reach their hands up, and sometimes they clamp their hands lower.
And their arms are bent.
Yes.
And also the velocity of the catch of the first jump is really hard on your grip. So you kind of avoid all those problems by starting a little bit lower. Man, shout out to Hannes for being
that
really
rope
disciplined.
that rope sucks.
Yeah, solid work. 12:15 to finish.
Mike didn't give him the bump afterwards. but wait
But
for
look
it.
at these
Oh.
guns. You just close up on Mike.
All right.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Patar in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button. Let it be known, what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Patar.